Brian Scott Laverne, Amy Slaton's new lover, has expressed his desire for her to carry his child, and I believe that the 1000 Sisters actress ought to examine the possibility of doing so. Amy, who is 37 years old, has always desired to have a large family, but she understands that she does not have much time left on her biological clock. It was solely for the sake of achieving her goal of having children that she decided to lose weight. When Amy made her first appearance on television in the year 2020, she weighed more than 400 pounds. Her inability to even walk on a bathroom scale was a problem. For Amy to be able to utilize their industrial-sized scale, she was required to drive to the nearby junkyard. As a result of her intense desire to have children, she underwent bariatric surgery and shed 125 pounds. Amy's journey to lose weight was motivated by her desire to have children, which is evidence of how important it is to her to achieve her goal of having children. She went on to produce 2 healthy sons after undergoing bariatric surgery and reducing 125 pounds to achieve her weight loss goals. Amy's bariatric surgeon cautioned her against rushing into having children, but she still couldn't wait to start a family. In spite of the fact that Amy had her tubes shut, the Sisters season 7 star who weighs 1,000 pounds might always have the treatment reversed. It's possible that she and Brian haven't known each other for very long, but given her age, this could very well be her last opportunity to grow her family. She need to at least give it some thought. Amy appeared to have her love story all sorted out by the time the first episode of 1,000 Pound Sisters aired in the year 2020. She had just tied the knot with a man who appeared to be completely smitten with her. When it came to Amy, Michael Halterman would not hesitate to do anything for her. Tammy Slaton, who is 37 years old, was even cared for by Amy with his assistance. During a significant period of time, Amy and Michael lived in close proximity to Tammy and assisted her in meeting her day-to-day requirements. The wheelchair that Tammy was using was pushed about by Michael, who also drove her around. Also, he did everything in such a stealthy manner, blending in with the surroundings. I was taken aback when they began fighting with each other. Following the birth of their children, Gage and Glenn Halterman, Amy and Michael's relationship began to deteriorate and eventually ended permanently. Due to the fact that Amy frequently accused Michael of not providing her with sufficient support, the conflict eventually reached a boiling point. During the 5th season of 1,000 Pound Sisters, Amy and Michael engaged in a number of unpleasant confrontations in front of the camera. In 2023, after being married for 4 years, they made the announcement that they were going to divorce. The initial stages of their divorce were fraught with contention. Nonetheless, they were able to reach a consensus and continue to share parental responsibilities for their kids. Following the conclusion of her marriage, the 1,000 Pound Sisters actress resumed her dating life and went through a number of unsuccessful relationships. Just a few short months after making the decision to end her relationship, Amy had already begun dating another man. It didn't take long for Amy and Tony Rogers to develop a serious relationship. She even introduced him to her sons. As soon as the relationship began to deteriorate, Amy began a romantic relationship with a new man named Kevin. It was an even shorter period of time that connection lasted. It was after Kevin that Amy decided to take a break from her search for love and instead concentrate on the task of parenting her 2 young sons. Amy first talked to Brian at a concert. At first, she did not feel any attraction for him. Nevertheless, due to Brian's persistent nature, Amy decided to give him a chance. Since then, the two have been inseparable from one another. Brian made the request to move in with Amy and her sons during the 7th season of the show 1,000-Pound Sisters. The fact that Brian is 50 years older than Amy does not change the fact that he adores her. The couple had only been dating for a few weeks when they decided to get matching tattoos that said, "Scary Love." It is essential to have a conversation about family planning, especially at an early stage in a relationship, even when Amy has a limited relationship with Brian. A few time after Amy and Brian began dating, the star of the 7th season of Sisters, who weighs 1,000 pounds, presented him to her sons. During their time together, the pair has celebrated a number of significant milestones, including Christmas and New Year's. In order to give the impression that they are already a family, they have been spending a lot of time with her older sons. Amy even went so far as to publish humorous AI makeovers on Instagram, in which she, Brian, Gage, and Glenn are transformed into a host of different Disney characters. It is important to note that Brian and both of her sons are included in the video, giving the impression that they are a typical nuclear family. The addition of a new child to the mix has the potential to strengthen the family unit. With the assistance of her sister, Amanda Halterman, Amy was getting ready for a date with Brian in the opening episode of the 7th season of 1,000-Pound Sisters. Amy disclosed to her sister that Brian desired for her to have her tubes tied in the opposite direction so that she might carry his child. Despite the fact that Amanda, who was in a state of shock, suggested that they take a cold shower, I did not agree with her recommendation. It is essential to have a conversation about family planning, especially at an early stage in a relationship, even when Amy has a limited relationship with Brian. I really think he can be the one day. 44 years old Amanda made an effort to convey to her sister the importance of not rushing things and urged her to do the same. Amy was in no mood to listen to her, despite the fact that she had warned her that it could take at least a few months before the true essence of someone is revealed. Amy insists, "I really think he can be the one day." And she is right. Almost immediately, Amanda came to the realization that there was nothing she could say to discourage Amy. The news was met with the same negative reaction from her brother, Chris Combs, who is 44 years old. Chris pleaded with Amy not to move in with Brian just like she did. It would have been nice if they had given the relationship a longer chance. Amy's romantic choices have improved significantly over the years, despite the fact that she has not always made the ideal decisions. In the event that the star of the 7th season of Sisters decides that she might be interested in growing her family ought to be supportive of her desire to have additional children. That being said, Amy is only vaguely familiar with Brian. It's wonderful that they are content with one another, but before she gives her consent to carry his child, she ought to get to know him better. Sisters star weighing 1,000 pounds, a slaton, Amy, initiated the 28th of October, 1987, 37 years old. Numerology sign, a Scorpion. The status of relationships, divorced and currently in a relationship. Little ones, 2 for the time being.